Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Juneteenth celebration here on Games Done Quick. My name is Ash Said Hi, and I'm going to be sitting in for an interview with Protokami. Protokami, introduce yourself to everyone and tell them a little bit about what you do and your journey in speedrunning.
So like Ash said, my name is Protokami. I do a little bit of everything. If you ever come and like watch any of my VODs or any of my YouTube videos, I'm kind of all over the place. I play fighting games. I of course speed run. Excuse me. Um, I do modifications on various things, mostly game systems. This last year, there was like a heavy focus in handheld modifications, screen replacements, shell swaps, soldering attachments, all that kind of stuff. And I think when we first started doing the Juneteenth, uh, the Juneteenth stuff, most of you may have saw like an arcade cabinet in the back. I've also do a little bit of that too. So what you'll mostly catch is just fighting games, RPGs, and speed runs.
That is so cool. So, okay, this is perfect because I have tons of handhelds. So, if I need any of the screens replaced or the shells replaced, I know I can come to you. And that is really awesome that you have like an arcade. I've always wanted an arcade. Like, that sounds like such a cool setup in your room and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, the arcade thing came because like I don't know how like familiar you are with like getting one over here, but um if you ever were in the market for like, the authentic Japanese ones like the Astro City or the Aero City or what is it? They have the Naomi Net, I can't remember the name of it, but like those types of arcades, you're looking at spending about $2,700, 27 to $3,000. And it's not because the thing itself is that expensive. They normally run between like 12 to 15. It's
Yeah.
what you pay in shipping to get it overseas.
Yeah.
And then of course, if anybody is in the US, mostly on the West Coast, if they're selling it at the 3K price because they're just, trying to get their money out of it.
Wow.
So it's expensive. And so since, I
Wow.
didn't have 3K laying around, I was like, you know what? It's probably cheaper for me to just build the one that I want.
That's so cool. That is so cool. So you said that you speed run, and we know we just saw your run earlier today. Tell us a little bit about what you speed run and how you got into it.
Yeah, so honestly, anything and everything that I speedrun have been games that I've already played. Mostly the ones that are like my childhood. I guess with the exception of Breath of the Wild, but I've always been a huge Zelda nerd anyway, so that was kind of a given. That was actually my first speed run. It was a subcategory in Breath of the Wild called the Trial of the Sword. It was a 12-minute run, well, it was a 14-minute run at the time, and I ended up getting a world record at the 11-minute mark. Um,
What?
I held that for about 7 or 8 months, and then I think that's when the DLC dropped, and somebody figured out how to do like a type of wrong warp with the motorcycle that you get in the DLC. And I just kind of left it alone from there. It's like, yeah, that's a little too advanced for me. um,
Wow.
but uh, the game after that, and I feel like this is what kind of kickstarted the longer runs, was Brave Fencer Musashi. Cult classic, obviously, but it was the very first JRPG that I ever played, that I had bought with my own money as a kid. My granddad would take me to the church to help clean up and every now and then I would get like $25 for mopping the floors for 2 hours. Save that money, went to Toys R Us back when it was a thing at the time, and I just saw it. It was just a random game, didn't know anything about it. Grabbed it and just enjoyed it. But
Wow.
yeah, everything that I have on the leaderboard now is just stuff that I played as a kid. Link Between Worlds, Link's Awakening, Brave Prince of Musashi, Samurai Legend Musashi, Breath of the Wild. I want to say there's one or two more games on there, but those are like the big ones that I always go back to.
Man, you just like everything that you said, you just brought me back to like such great places. Cause yes, I was a Toys R Us kid too. Yeah, I totally get it. Remember when we used to have to pick the paper out and then hand it over and get the game back? And
Yep.
oh yeah, the Zelda, like Link Between Worlds is one of my favorites. Ah, that is so exciting. So can you tell us a little bit about why you decided to run Rocket Knight Adventures today? And what's your favorite thing about the run?
So Rocket Knight again is one of those games that was a random purchase at Toys R Us. Didn't know anything about it. It was like, okay, there's a little armadillo in a suit of armor. Let's see what this is about. And I loved it. You know, it what put me in a position to want to speed run it mostly was the movement. I didn't know much about the speed run up until I want to say about 6 or 7 months ago. I just wanted to give it a look, and there is a lot of use of the boost system in that game, and I really enjoyed watching it. I knew I would enjoy playing it. A lot of the more retro games, the side scrollers, Mega Man and Base. That was the other game that I couldn't think of. Sorry. A lot of the other games that I play or speedrun that are 2D, I like them because of the movement. So Mega Man and Base, as an example, I do the base story for the speedrun because he has a dash and he has a double jump. So there's a lot of good movement for that run.
Gotcha, gotcha. A lot of good movement. I think I've played Rocket Knight a couple of times, and it is a really fun game that has it's like kind of like fast paced as well, and
Yeah.
and amazing. Like it's just it's a really cool game. And I feel like games on the Sega Genesis just don't get enough love. So it's really cool to see you running Rocket Knight Adventures today. Like that's really, really cool. I love it. I love it. So if you were to give some advice to someone who wanted to speed run this game for the first time, what would you tell them? Like, what would be the best advice for them?
Honestly, just get familiar with the game. It's a short speed run. You know, it's under an hour. Um, just play through it casually for the first time. Get familiar with like the enemy placement, the boss gimmicks, because there's a lot of them.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
Um, um, just have fun with it. That's honestly the second part to the reason why I speed run the games that I do, um, is that I know when I play this, I'm gonna have fun. There's gonna be some frustrating moments, right? Because you know there's that one trick you can't get. There's a boss that isn't acting the way that you want it to. But the overall atmosphere when I'm running is I am having fun when I'm doing this. I know everybody has like their different reasons. I know a lot of
Yeah.
speedrunners are very competitive and they go for like the popular games. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Um, but I do feel like first and foremost, it should be something that you know or feel like you're gonna have fun with before you hop into a game.
Yeah, yeah, that's some really, really good solid advice there. All right, before I let you go, I got one last question for you, okay? It's an
Okay.
important one. This is for
Okay.
Sega Genesis fans out there. Is blast processing real?
So I'm gonna be real with you. I had no idea what blast processing was.
Really?
I had to look it up real quick. And I don't think so. I don't think
Yeah.
that's a thing.
I mean, you know
I, I
what?
I think that was I watched a few of the ads and I was like, man, this takes me back.
Yeah.
But it I really don't think it's anything. It was just something they put out to make themselves seem superior over Nintendo.
I know, right? Dag. So apparently Sega does what Nintendo don't, but
Nintendo. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Anyway, that was really awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Protokami. Just remind everyone where they can find you and what you do. And thank you so much, speedrunning fans, for watching this interview.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. I guess excuse me, you can find me on X, Twitter, and TikTok and YouTube. Same handle, Protokami. Like I said, it's I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what you're gonna find because you'll go to the channel and you're either gonna see, you know, me building something, me playing something, or me speedrunning something. But either way, I hope you enjoy.
Awesome. We love it. Thanks so much, everyone. And stick around for some more incredible speed runs for this Juneteenth celebration. Bye bye.